Here we go. Mibne Beit HaMikdash. All right. We had this before. Here we go. All right. Let's go back to the Rambam. Little by little, I'm getting the hip.
Share the screen.
Yes. I will. I'll do it. You're right. You're right. You're right. I admit you're right. Here we go. Oh. Share the screen. Ready? Yesterday we learned a bit about the Mizbeach, the altar in the Holy Temple. The altar. What does the altar look like this? Let's see. 1 second. Can I go back to this thing? New share. Here we go. Here's the altar. This is it. And this is the ramp. Now we learned yesterday that the altar and the ramp that goes up to it have to be made from stones that no metal touched them. No metal touched them. No, well, let's go back to this. Here we go. New share. Oh. Hello. Did it go back? There we go. Like we learned here, any stone that was touched iron, it is disqualified, whether it's talking the Mizbeach, the altar, or the ramp that I just showed you. Yurches. That's where we are? Okay. Yurches. There are no steps to the altar. Like it says, Lo ta'aleh b'ma'alot al mizbechi. You are not allowed to go on steps to my altar. Elabonim kamo tel bidromo. You build like a ramp that goes up on the south side. The south side is when you come into the Holy Temple, if you're a Kohen, because only the Kohanim can go up there. Kohen, it's on your left side. The right side is the north, and the left side is the south. Mitma'et v'yored mirosh hamizbeach ad ha'oretz. It gets lower and lower, right? It's at an angle, and it gets lower and lower until it reaches the, and this is called the kevish. Kevish. And a person that decides he does want to go up on steps for whatever reason he decides, there's all sorts of strange people in the world. If he does that, loke, the punishment is lashes. Call law number Yutet. Call a noteset. So again, what were we talking about? We're talking about, let's see this, here it is, new share. Here, we're talking about here. This, can you see this? Here's the altar. Here is the kevish going up. Let's see if we can maybe get another picture over here. I don't know exactly how we do this. All right, we're not going to do it. There we go. New share. Anyone who notates, who removes one stone from the Mizbeach, removes one stone from anywhere in the Heichal. The Heichal is the building, right? The big building where the Holy and the Holy of Holies were. And before that, this was called the Ulam. Or from between the Ulam and the Mizbeach. Derech hashchasa, if you do it on purpose to wreck the stone, loka, it's punishable by lashes. Like it says, you should destroy the altars of the idolaters, lo ta'asun kein lashem l'chechem, but do not do so for your God, the God of Israel. So here it is. What are we talking about here? Anyone who wrecks one stone from this area here, this is the what's that? Is there no pictures over here? Oh, there we go. Here, this building here, or any of this area over there. We got all these nice pictures here. They didn't see us. That's also nice, but that's not what we want. Right. Any of this area here, from the area between, says the Ulam and the Mizbeach, all of this area over there, anyone who removes one stone or from the altar itself is punishable by lashes. So when the Mashiach comes and builds the third temple, don't try it. Don't move in and tell your Kohanim friends that they're going in there. Don't try to remove one of these stones or even to dislodge one of them. Chaf, ha-menorah. Now we have the menorah and all of the vessels that go along with the menorah. There was vessels they used to clean out the menorah and to fix up the wicks. What about the shulchan? The shulchan, this was what's called the shulchan of the, they translated in English show bread, lechem apani, but it was really face bread. There were 12 loaves of bread, and each loaf was shaped like a U. So it had all these faces to it inside of it. And this bread would be there the whole entire week, and it would be taken by the Kohanim and eaten from Shabbos to Shabbos, every Shabbos. Mizbeach HaKatoret, and also the golden altar. And also all of the other vessels, they're only made from hamatechet bilvad. They are made only from metal. If you made them from wood or from bone or from stone or from glass, no good. Plastic, no way. Right? Cannot make it must be made of some sort of metal. Hayu kahal aniyim, if the Jewish people were poor, osim otom afilu shel bedil, you can make them even from tin. Im ashiru, if the Jewish people got richer, osim otom shel zav, you can make them from gold or gold plated. Afilu mizrakot v'shvudim v'magrefot, even the shovels, the spits, and the rakes that they use to clean off the altar, so mizbeach, ola. If you want to make them all from gold, you can. In fact, it's better. V'amidot, sorry, I skipped. Yes. Mizbeach ola. V'amidot im yesh koach b'tzibur, and all the measuring cups and the measuring, whatever the things that they use to measure, if there's koach b'tzibur, if the congregation has enough money, you can make them all from gold. Afilu shari azara, even the gates of the azara, you can cover them with gold. Im matzah yadayim, if there is power. What is it? What are the gates of the azara? Let's take a look over here. Here. This is the Azara, Ezra's Nashim, Ezra's Yisrael, Ezra's Kohanim. Here are the gates over here. These gates also. Gates. These gates, if you want to coat them with gold, you can, and they did. It's a Herodus, he made them gold. Let's do one more, huh? Ein osim kol hakelim mitchilatan ela l'shem kodesh. All of the vessels of the Holy Temple, they had to be made for the sake of God, sake of the temple. Ve'im, and if, metchilasan, and if you make them, matchilasan, you made them, lehejot, for regular, ordinary purposes, right? You made a nice, beautiful candelabra to put in your store. Ein otan l'sol l'gavua. If you made it for that, you can't say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this to the Beit HaMikdash. Won't work. No good. It has to be made for the Holy Temple. V'kli gavua ad shelo nishtamash bohem gavua. What about if you make like vessels. You make shovels, for taking out the ashes. You make it from gold, and you make it for the sake of God. And then you think, your wife says, what are you giving this thing to God for? They have enough. Let somebody else give, right? Let the next door neighbor, they got more money than we. Why should we give these brushes and shovels to the holy temple? Let somebody else do it. So you say, well, I can't, I made it for God. So your wife says, well, I see you haven't been reading your Rambam, because the Rambam says clearly that if you make a vessel for the holy temple and you have not yet used it, then you can use it for a mundane purpose. But as soon as you do use it for the temple, asurim lahedyut, you can never use it with hedyut. That's the general principle. What it says, ma'alin b'kodesh vein moridim. Holy things you can only elevate, you cannot bring it down. But this is only if you used it. Other things are not that way. It's true. Other things are not that way. If you make like you make a parchment, and you decide you want to use this parchment for, Sefer Torah, whatever, for a mezuzah, then you're not allowed to use that parchment for Sefer Torah. Right? That's one case. You just made it for, you didn't use it yet. Okay. Avanim v'koros shechatzvam yitachil lebeis haKnesset. What if there's stones and there are beams, and you use them, you hewed them out in the beginning for the synagogue, right? For synagogue, that's pretty good. That's holy, right? You can't use them for the Har HaBayit. You cannot use it for the Har HaBayit. We have finished the first chapter of the Holy Temple. Tomorrow, God willing, second chapter.